Okay. May I speak
Okay,
or okay, sorry. Go
welcome
ahead.
everyone. Thank you for joining us today's webinar. My name is Fauzi, and I'm one of the hosts of today's seminar. This time, we are presenting Digital Creative Studio, supporting digital transformation (DX) by Koshimoto Yuichi as Global Education Unit Leader, and Juan Jose Tenorio as Full Stack System Engineer. Before we get started, if you have any question during presentation, please type them into question box in your Zoom control panel. I'll bring them up during the presentation, and we will also have time for questions at the end. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to Mr. Koshimoto and Mr. Tenorio.
Okay, do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you just fine, Mr. Koshimoto.
All right. So let me start. Okay, I will start. Okay. So hi everyone. Selamat pagi. Okay, let's get started. Thank you for taking the time to listen to our company's presentation today. So today I'd like to explain digital transformation, which we focus on, and our service, Digital Creative Studio. Okay, so before it, let me introduce myself. My name is Koshimoto from the Sun Asterisk. I'm a coordinator of the Global Education Unit, the business Global Education Business Department. And I have been in Vietnam for 6 years, and I have experience in the HR service field. So this is my email address. So today, if you have any question, please feel free to contact me anytime, okay? Next, here is today's agenda. The part one is about a company, and part two is about working as an engineer in the Sun Asterisk. And part three about this recruitment, and part four, interview and Q&A session. And in this part four, I invite the global engineer working in Sun Asterisk, Japan, and plan to ask a few questions to him. So if you need further information, question, please ask in this session by Zoom chat. Okay. So let's go to the next. So firstly, please watch the movie first. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Okay, so let me explain our company. Our company name is Sun Asterisk. We have started in Vietnam as software development company since 2013. So now we moved our headquarters to Tokyo, Japan, and still keeping growing up. Our member become over 1,800 member in this year. So future of our member are 2 points. The first one is more than 80% of our member are the digital expert, like the designer, engineer, QA, or something like that. And the second one, 85, 85% of the member is come from Vietnam and working in Vietnam. These are our members, the point. Okay. So this is our company's vision and mission. The vision is we realize the world where everyone has the freedom to make awesome things that matter. There are many ideas seeds in the world, of course, around you. I think you must have one too. It is like, I wish there was such a service, or I'd like to solve this problem by using my idea or something like that. Yeah. We include the two wishes in our company's name. First one is we hope to be like the sun in the sky and shine on these ideas seed and support them to be grow. And second one, the asterisk, this symbol. This symbol for the multiplication in the programming language. So our mission is to positively update the society by collaborating with the people who are seriously trying to solve the social issue. This is our company's vision and mission. So next, we are located in the sixth country and sixth city and the four country, and the average age is 33 years old. And we have member of the various nationality, not only Japan and Vietnam, like the Bangladesh and Cambodia and the Philippines, South Korea and the Peru, like that. By the way, honestly, we don't have any Indonesian member yet. So we are excited and looking forward to meeting the first Indonesian member today. Okay, so I will explain our company's service next. In that video, you saw the keyword DX, right? DX means digital transformation, and we focus on here. Our main field is DX, digital transformation market. Precisely, we think DX has two meanings. One is digitization. This means that the digitize the business process. The purpose is improving the business efficiency. This is a problem-solving DX that aims to optimize the cost, like the time and the money, by replacing the human task in the digital solution. And the other is sorry, it's fixed. Sorry. The other is digitalization. This means digitizing not only business process, but the entire whole business. And we focus on this right side, digitalization in Japan. Okay, so let me show you the example of the digitalization. Look at these company, please. I, I'm sure that you know all service, right? Many famous service has been created from the digitalization around the world. As you all know that the development of the technology has not only improved the business operation, but also changed the industrial structure, like these companies. Companies and service are updated in completely the new way. This is the digitalization. Okay, so our service name is here, Digital Creative Studio. It's studio. This service provides a comprehensive full support for our client to make the DX. Our client's range is really wide. It's like from enterprise company who wants to launch the make the new business internal to the startup like a startup who wants to grow their established business or the new business. So from the enterprise to the startup, our client range. Okay, so there are two major service lines in our service. This one and this one. The first one here is the creative and engineering. This unit support to create the new business and the product. And the second one here, this is talent platform unit. This unit support to build the IT team in client internal to promote the DX by themselves. So we support from the both aspect. Okay, next. So I will explain the unique point of our service. Let me ask you one question. Nowadays, recently, to make the service business success, there are three major perspectives. These are really critical and important. Do you know what they are? Do you know it? All right. Please imagine the answer in your mind. Okay. Here is the answer. The business and technology and creative. These three perspectives are necessary for successful service and must be blended at high level. Okay. The first is the business perspective. It's like how much will the service will be, sold in the market? What is the valuable unique point of this service compared to the another service or competitor? Or how is sustainability of this service? Like something like that. Yeah. The, this is the business perspective, and the business designer and IT consultant support this area. And next one, technology. This perspective is like, how do we realize the idea to the product? What function, what technology should I use? Should I put in the service? And the Sun Asterisk, member of this position is the largest, as I explained. And many engineers specialize in the various technology. So the kind of position is like a mobile engineer, front-end engineer, or some engineer. Yeah. So let's go to the next. The last one is the creative. When the service is realized or service is created, does user satisfied with this service or not? Like that. And various designer in the designer team, and then they cover this part, like the product designer, experience designer, communication designer, UX researcher. For the business or services success, you need to take care of these three perspectives. And the very unique and the key feature of the Sun Asterisk is that we have the professional member who are responsible for the each three perspective. Some member used to be the CTO in the other company, or another member used to be the UX UI designer in the big farm company or something, and they moved to us. So some of the member used to be the consultant in the farm or something. They are the expert, and there are many professionals with diversity background and expertise in our company. And to maximize the probability of the success, we use many methods, like such as design thinking, or lean startup, user-centered design, POC, MVP, Agile, Scrum, DevOps, many ways. These ways called like it's suitable for the creating the new service. Okay, so we have the professional team in the various perspective with the various method and with suitable the method for each phase. So that's why we call this service studio. Studio is like the music studio, recording studio. Studio is the place or environment to do the something specific, right? That's like that. Okay, and one more feature is that we can support the client in the all phase process like this. Through creating the service process, you need to proceed many steps, like from come up the new idea to the concept design and development and the release and the deliver to the user, right? And each step has a different matter and the challenges. So we cover each phase of the creating the service. Sun is able to support each phase like a pre-startup 0 to 1 and startup phase from 1 to 10 and growth phase from 10 to 100. We support each service or whole service. Depends on the client requirement. This is our unique point. Okay, so we have introduced the three perspective and wide range of the supporting phase. So as technology has developed in the recent year, the area in which apply IT and technology have expanded. So we have supported the client in the variety of the industry, not only in the IT sector, and have been involved in over 300 development. This is, we support the client and deliver these products to the world so far. In this day and age, every industry is potential fit for the Sun Asterisk. And this is the part of the example we support so far. Like this, like this, like this. As I explained that we have more than 300 services. So if you are interested in, please check it on by this QR code, okay? Like this, like this. Sorry, sorry, I haven't translated this Japanese to the English, but I hope that you are the technical side, the people. So please ask the Google, okay? All right. Okay, next. I will explain the sun's engineer. From now on, I'd like to introduce what it's like working in Sun Asterisk as an engineer. Look at this. This is our GitHub. This number is the repository. These numbers show the number of the project, more than 1,000, about 1,000. And then this, the people, this number show the engineer, more than 1,000. So as you can see here, each person is responsible in taking the 2 or 3 project in the Sun Asterisk. Okay, this graph is the reference from the Stack Overflow, which is information exchange site for the engineer, as you might know. So this graph is the trend ranking of the framework in the world. In this chart, the framework in the red box like this, like this, like this, are the most popular framework used by Sun. The red boxes indicate the frameworks that are also commonly used in Sun. Then top 5 are the JavaScript, TypeScript. And recently, there are many cases using React.js in our company, developing in TypeScript. And TypeScript is increasingly being used not only on the front end, but also the back end. So we feel that, it has become the trend recently. And in the back end, backside, there are many cases of the Laravel for PHP and the Ruby on Rails for the Ruby. Okay, these are the example of the typical development language in the Sun Asterisk. As I explained that, we focus on the creating the service. That's why we have a many chance to get the new technology stack. We often have some, study session internally. We have the study internal with the colleague. This is our company's culture. Okay. Let me explain our R&D team. We have R&D team for a long time, and more than I think 40 Vietnamese member belong to this team in Vietnam. Okay. I will access to this team's website. Let me see it. This team has the website like this. Yeah. And they mainly research on the edge technologies such as like AI and blockchain and cybersecurity or something like that. And in addition to the research, this team sometimes develop the product using the Sun Asterisk. using the D's Edge technology as a trial-based internal. So CI/CD tool like we use internal is developed by this team. Okay, so let me explain the reason why we have an R&D team despite our service is supporting the client. Because when some of the client roughly request the edge technology such as like I want to use AI, I want to use the big data, I want to use the blockchain, they sometimes ask us frankly. And in that case, we would like to respond to such a request quickly. So that's why we always research and try to use this technology. The leader of this team named Mr. Tang from the Vietnam, the leader of this team told me that, he said like he is very confident that this team able to handle the latest technology. So in terms of their trial service, the Vivo is quite famous in Japan. No, quite famous in Vietnam. I will show you the Vivo. This product, this is a website. Like this website is really well known in the Vietnam. And the main programming, the topic is, mainly the Ruby on Rails, Ruby and the Ruby on Rails and something like that. Okay. This is really quite famous in Vietnam. And this is like the Stack Overflow in the Vietnamese version. Okay. So let's go to the next page. Oh, sorry. Next page. Okay, let's look at the Sun's positioning in Vietnam market. Sun is actually very known popular in Vietnam. Like we rank at the #1 popularity among IT company for career engineer. And this one, okay, currently, okay. And then we rank the top 3 for all, all engineer, not only the career. Okay. So currently, we received an average 1,500 applicants per month for our open position. And sometimes it goes to the 2,000. So we select and hire the best people from among them. So this is the one of our strong point. Okay, so next, let's go to the next part. Sun and engineer's mind. This page shows the process from the receiving the job and development and the release and the operation. This is the basic style in our company. The start is from the pre-sales here, which is the sales part. And the Sun Asterisk, there is no one who specializes in only salesperson. The business designer are mainly in charge of this phase. But sometimes, project manager or designer and engineer work together to make the proposal to the client and hear what the clients want to realize, what they worry about that, what they concern, and the term and the budget, then propose the plan and propose the technical solution. And the next phase is the kickoff. Uh, this one, decide the direction of the project, such as what the goal is and what is important in this project, or like that. And if the design of the service is not yet defined, we may help with the service design from the designer. Okay, the next step is to define the requirements here. Okay, here we make the wireframe and put idea into the picture and are in charge of table design or something like that. And as for the development, we often use the Scrum, like here. And after we release the product, we release and check and operate and release and check and operate. We go around this cycle. This is a basic style. This cycle is the DevOps style. We run the parallel with the DevOps style. Okay, so what kind of person the sound engineer is? Sound engineer is the people who deliver the value to those involved. The people involved are not only the client, but also the end user. We must not forget about it. And the user we use finally. And the product is not for only the client. The product or service is just a solution. So what's the solution? User solution. This product, the service wants, makes the things that matter as awesome. Okay. So DevOps is an important method that our engineer need to understand in Sun Asterisk. The department of the product does not end. What does not end when you finish the deployed. We are required to measure the collect fact such as number and analyze and improve the product. This cycle. Okay. So engineer deliver the value through the project. And to deliver the value, all engineer need to continue the self-improvement. So to deliver the value, you need to improve the development experience. Okay. So this is our standard way of thinking. And we require the all member to have this mind. Don't forget the end user. Okay. So so far, this is our company's explanation. So let's go to the explanation of the recruitment. This is job description. Our company are hiring the software engineer, the front end and back end, and iOS and Android. And the working place is Tokyo. And the starting date is depends on you. Uh, the earliest one is April 23. And if you graduate in the 2023, the starting time will be November 23. Or if you graduate in the 2024, November 24. And target image is this, 3 points: lab programming, lab technology. And the second one, appreciate the teamwork. And third one, have a passion to be the global leader. If you want to make a performance in globally, this is a very good position. And the condition for the application, we need a Japanese level, more than JOPT N4 level. You don't need to, have the certification. If you think your Japanese level is enough to the N4, you can apply. But of course, in our company, your colleague will be the Japanese, and sometimes you might, consultant and discuss with the client. So that's why you need the Japanese level, but not now. Until you come to Japan, until you start to work. Okay, and this is a salary range. It depends on what you can do. It depends on your skill and knowledge. Okay, and if you want to check the our job vacancy detail, please access to this URL or please scan this QR code. We prepare the job description, the detail, so you can check it. You can check from this one. Okay. And next, this is the career path of our engineer side. If you after you join our company as an engineer, you can aim to be the tech lead or CTOs. So let me explain about the CTOs. Basically, CTO is only one member in the one team or one company, right? But we have the team named the CTOs. As I explained, we support the client, and if sometimes the client doesn't have the CTO, we introduce our member as a CTO. So that's why we have the team named the CTO. Some of the member belong to this team, or you can aim to be the software architect or something. We have the many career paths internal, and then you can choose as you want. Okay, this is our company's the condition, and then this one work size sport. We have a lot of allowance for the engineer, and then we always improve our development environment for the engineer, and we install the flex time system, and you can work remotely. And if you want to the laptop or some PC, we can provide a PC as you want. And not only PC, if you want to use the display, yeah, of course, we also provide the display and free drink, free address, like that. And then we have a many allowance, not only the equipment, healthcare, or private life support. So I am not sure, but I think if you come to Japan, it's gonna be the first time to live in the foreign country. But don't worry about it. We can fully support, and we can provide a good environment. Okay, like that. Sorry, we have many allowance and welfare. So I think it's not enough. We don't have enough time to explain the all things, but this document, this slide, you can download from our QR code. The QR code is on our poster, so please come to our booth and check our poster. And then there is the QR code on the poster, so please scan it, and then you can download this slide from them. Okay. Okay, like that, like that. Okay, so let me explain the selection process. Application. From today, from now, you can apply from this form. We prepare the form. Then go to the first interview. This is the interview, but it's like a casual conversation with me, and I would check your, the CV or something. And if you have a question, if you have any concern, I can, answer you directly. And then, and the second, third step is the test. We prepare the Japanese test, programming test, and short essay. And next is the second interview. This is a final round. And if you pass the final round, I will give you the offer. This is the application form, and this QR code is also written on the poster. So please check it later, okay? Okay. So, okay, I do the presentation on time. Okay. So next is the final part, introduction of the global engineer and the QA session. So as I explained at the beginning, I invite the global engineer working in Japan. Okay. じゃあ、ホセ、出番です。
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Okay,
Me well?
everybody, he is our engineer, global engineer. He comes from the Peru. Okay, so can you introduce yourselves, Jose?
Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Hoshimoto-san. Like, I remember that I kind of received a similar introduction to San back in 2019, it was? Yes. Well, my name is Juan Jose Tenorio. I am from Peru. Peru, the Machu Picchu. Probably many people know it because of that. So I graduated from university in 2017, almost 5 years ago already. And I've been in Japan since September 2019, almost 3 years as well. And well, when I came to Japan, it was thanks to San. So I would like to share my experience with you about all these 3 years with San. What have I learned, and in general, what could be your main concerns and how to handle them? Because probably I had the same concerns when I applied and came to Japan, because well, for me, it was also my first time working as a foreigner. So yes, nice to meet you all. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your introduction, Jose. Jose, I think Japan is the first country to work for you, right?
Yes, 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 yes. The
Okay,
first and
okay.
only one, aside from from Peru as well, from my home country.
Oh, really?
Well, in my home country, I also worked for a year.
Oh,
So
year. Mm-hmm.
yes, yes, yes. So I graduated from university, and then I started working remotely in Peru for about a year until I got the
Mm.
offer from Sun. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you. So I'm just wondering, why you want to decide to work in Japan? What is the
Ah,
trigger?
yes,
What's
yes, yes.
happened? Yeah.
It's actually a long story, but to make it short, I watched a lot of anime since I was a kid, but I didn't understand Japanese at all. So I usually watched it in with the Spanish subtitles because in Peru we speak Spanish. And then in 2016, I got the opportunity to get to a scholarship and came to Japan for about 1 month and a half for a short-term study program in
Yeah,
Yamagata
short time.
University. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By this time, I still didn't know anything of Japanese. So when I came to Japan, I basically was speaking English to the few people that could understand me in the university. So then I completed the program, and I liked Japan's way of life and culture very much in that short-term program. And when I came back, I decided to, well, I think it's finally time to study Japanese. So at that time, it was my last year in university. So I like put a deadline and say, okay, because I am graduating in July, then all this year I will be studying Japanese from zero to hero, literally, which is from JLPT, I think it's N5 to JLPT N San, or well, N3. So
Okay.
while I was studying for my last courses in university, I was also studying Japanese uh, to get the entry certification. Because from what I heard at this point, I didn't know San. From what I heard, you needed at the very least N3 or N2. That's what I heard from internet forums and so on. So
Yeah.
yes, I studied. I studied for a year and I got the certification. And coincidentally, one of San representatives went to Peru just to promote the same program as what Hashimoto-san is promoting right now.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
then I met him because my Japanese teacher also went to the conference he was presenting. So I got presented to him, and then he invited me to have the same round of interviews. The first interview, of course, the coding test, and the second interview. And well, I passed, and I was invited to come to Tokyo. This was January of 2019. The whole process was just a month. It could be even less, but you have in Japan this short break for Christmas and New Year's in particular. So it extended a bit for a month and a half, but in the end, the whole process was very, very quick. I was surprised because I received my invitation to Tokyo and I wasn't prepared at all. So it took a little bit of time to prepare and come to Japan, but yeah. I ended up joining Sun formally in September of that
Mm.
year after a long time preparing with the visa and so on, because in Peru it was a little bit harder at the time. So yes, just to resume, I like Japanese culture very much, so much that I decided to study the language, and of course also Japan's level of technology in both front and back end and overall in innovative uh, ventures is very, very high. So you could find many different interesting projects that in Peru, for example, is very difficult to find. So that combination, the matching between culture and technology was pretty appealing to me, and that's why I came to Japan. Yes, can you still hear me? I think it kind of froze. I think.
I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah, because my Wi-Fi is bad and it's unstable. Because here is Vietnam. That's why sometimes happen. I'm sorry.
No
What did
problem.
what did you say, Jose? But
Uh,
I
in, in,
remember that I remember that you start to study Japanese because you like the Japanese culture, right?
yes, yes, yes.
So I'm just wondering when you start studying Japanese, you didn't expect you didn't have any imagine to work in Japan, right?
Uh, my last objective was that, but at first it was just in case I at some point decided to apply to some Japanese company. Yes, but because it seemed like a long way to go from the fifth level to the second level,
Mm-hmm.
which was what I heard I needed. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was more on the long run at that point. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So how did you overcome that concern?
Uh, just being consistent, I think. Every day study at the very least 1 hour of Japanese. And it was way easier because I watched a lot of anime. So
Mm.
that at the very least covered the listening part and some
Mhm.
of the words. So
I see.
all of that made it quite easier to study Japanese in general from zero, because I didn't know anything, only some anime words. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So Jose, did you have any concern when you get the job offer from our company?
Yes, a lot, because I didn't know anything about. I knew, for example, about America
Yeah.
and Europe, but I didn't know
Uh-huh.
anything about Japanese industry, in
Japan.
particularly, for example, salary, where or Tokyo, where to live, what's the life cost, and so on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in that regard, I was very glad that Sun provided me a lot of information, including, and this is one of the most important things I remember, was that because foreigners it's very difficult for them to find a mansion. In Japan, you call them mansion, this building to rent, because some provided the building with and all the basic utilities, for example, electricity and so on. That
Yeah. Yeah.
really helped a lot, because I,
Yeah.
I didn't I didn't need to worry about okay, I have to pay my rent this month or whatever, because that is already being handled by Sun with your salary. So
Mm-hmm.
in that regard, I, I was I was able to focus on my job and to, well, in a sense, learn how to live in Tokyo. Mm.
Mm-hmm. So you
So
mean
yes.
that? Mm,
Mm.
go ahead. Yeah.
Ah, no, I just wanted to add that yes, in part, a lot of these concerns, particularly lifestyle and so on, they were handled by Sun, and then some of the other things with time, I managed to understand, like for example, how to do procedures and how to open a bank account and so on. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you very much. So I have two more questions. Okay. So how is the sun asterisk for the engineer? Please tell me
Mm.
your opinion. Yeah.
Yes. I remember that I didn't know what to expect. At that time, even Sam wasn't called Sun, it was called Franja. And then when I came, the name
Yeah.
was changed.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to expect. What I knew at the time was that it was kind of like a startup studio. And then what I discovered with these 3 years is that, at the very least, in my opinion, you have a lot of freedom to do what you want to do, in the sense that, for example, if you want to do
Mm-hmm.
front end, then okay, you can do front end. You have
Yeah.
React, you have Vue, and if you have a very good case for it, you can propose using, for example, Angular, which is less common to use, or Svelte, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this type of freedom is very important. And I remember in Peru, at the very least, that there was
Mm-hmm.
this, I don't know how to say it, but there was this perception that in Japan, they were very rigid with technologies, and they were very rigid with the process. But in some, I can feel this freedom of, particularly for engineers and designers, of decide, if you can make your case, you can decide which framework to use, which backend, which front end. And in my case, because I like both front end and backend, I
Mm-hmm.
am able to move from front end and back end when needed. And that is also something that, for example, in my previous company in Peru, it was very hard to do, because all was very monolithic. So it's hard to assign a person from one place that is doing full front end to a place that is doing full back end. But surprisingly, in Sun, that was quite easy. And I really appreciated that because I learned not only about front end, which is what like when I entered, I was doing front end, but also back end and then DevOps with AWS and so on. And I understand that many people also like to just focus on one thing. So in the end, it's your choice, right? If you want to focus on one thing, then just tell it to your PM and he will assign you projects for that. But if you want to test a lot of things, you also have the freedom to do that. So in the end, that's something that I have only found in some until this point. So yes, I'm very appreciative of that.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so second question is, how is the sun asterisk for the foreigner?
Yes, one aspect is that for the language, as Hoshimoto-san mentioned as well, you tend to use Japanese for talking with your PM and sometimes with the client if you have the opportunity. But for example, when you work with Vietnamese members, you basically talk in English, right? Or at the very least, write PRs in English and so on.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of opportunities to use English. And because there are a lot of Vietnamese members that come to Japan as well, you communicate with them either in English or in Japanese. So opportunities for talking in English, there are a lot. Also in some, there are these club systems in which you can join many clubs according to your preference. For example, there is a board game club or a table tennis club and so on. So there are a lot of opportunities to not only practice your Japanese, but also interact with Japanese people, which considering the fact that you work at this particular point, at the very least, a lot of people work only remotely, including myself, even in Tokyo. It's very valuable that you still can interact with members and share your experience with them. And because there are a lot of foreigners, in particular from Vietnam, it's a very nice combination because you don't feel alone. At the very least, that's what happened to me. Like I had also other members, and with them we made friends with the Japanese engineers and designers.
Also, do you belong to some activity or club in our company?
Yes. For example, just 2 weeks ago, we went to climb the Fuji with the trekking club.
Oh, you went there?
Yes. I went there. Yes. So it was hard, but it was cool. It was very cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, there are a lot of opportunities for a foreigner to interact, to learn Japanese, and to make some Japanese friends that, at the very least, in my case, they're very good friends and friends for life, I think. So yes, surprisingly enough, when I came to Japan, I expected for them to be very rigid, so it would be very hard to join the company or to join the culture, but Sam was very supportive and open in that regard. So I think that's incredibly valuable, in particular for a Japanese company, to be fair.
Okay, thank you very much. So guys, we still have 14 minutes, so let's go to the Q&A session. So if you have, some question or any further information about this recruitment or Jose or me or something, environment, whatever is fine. If you have the question, please write down the chat and then I will explain. Or if I cannot explain, I will explain later by some, form. We will make the form, then let you know and the right answer. Okay?
Okay, thanks for the presentation, Mr. Hoshimoto and Mr. Tenorio. We actually already have some questions lined up. Maybe I can read it to you right now.
Yeah, but no need. I can read it.
Okay.
Yes. So I will read like, hello, I'm from chemistry background, but I have professional experience in UI UX and working with the international environment. Does the Sun Asterisk would accept people from non-design background? Okay. This question, 斉藤さん、どうします？僕から答えましょうか。斉藤さん、どう思います？ミュートです。Let me introduce one more member. He is, the site. His name is Saito from the CTOs.
はい。ごめんなさい。ヒューさんごめん。今聞いてなかった。ごめん。
ごめんなさい。科学系の、バックグラウンド。学歴は多分科学系なんですけど、自分自身は UI UX の、プロフェッショナルな、経験を持っていて、 国際的な環境でも働いたことあるんだけど、さんの中ではそういうアカデミックな、バックグラウンド、デザインじゃないバックグラウンドがある人を受け入れるっていう余地はありますか？
あります。すでにだってあれでしょ、その経験してるんでしょ、なんか。
そうです、そうです。
であれば全然余地はあります。
Okay, our question is, we are always welcome if you have the experience. We don't care about academic background. So next, what's the difference first round and second interview? Okay, in the first round, we need to check the Japanese level. I mean the conversation and then your mind. But when it comes to the first round, this is not the screening match. Just decrease your concern, or I answer your the question. And the second is the selection, as you have the image. Okay, so next one. What types of the person would be good candidate? どんな人が、うちの会社にとっていい人ですか？いい候補者ですか？これ斉藤さん、僕答えましょうか？僕が答えた後でお願いします。Yeah, as I explained that, firstly, love programming, love technology. And the second one, the teamwork. Because we always, develop the service or the product with the team. So we require all members to have the, the appreciation to the team. And third one, this is my personal opinion, but wants to be the global leader or global. 斉藤さん、他に何かどんなキャラクターがあるといいか。
そうですね。責任感のある人がいいなって思いますね。
responsible.
いや、そうですね。これぜひ、ホセにも聞いてみたい。
Jose, what kind of engineer? What kind of engineer is suitable for our environment, our company?
This is also my personal opinion, but I value a lot how open you are to suggestions and to different technologies, because sometimes there will be times in which you won't be want to choose some technology, but that seems to be the best for the project. So this kind of openness to many different things and not be close to one of them, to me, is very important for an engineer. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So next, any good advice for student regarding coding test and screening process? Advice? コーディングテストについて何かアドバイスはありますかっていう質問なんですけれども、アドバイス、just try your best. I think, you can choose the language. What we want to know is not, what kind of language you can do or not. No, we don't care. We want to know your sense or, the way of thinking in the programming. So not the specific language. So the advice is try your best. What do you think about it, Jose?
I have, well, of course, from that, but also be careful with your CV, because I have seen people that put or express one part of their CV, like, for example, they have done one Android, but in the end they haven't done as like, they were front-end engineers, but in their CV they look like Android engineers. So be careful to how you order your CV, because it can confuse the interviewer. So I would give that advice.
Okay, thank you.
For the screening process in particular. Yes.
斉藤さんは何かありますか？コーディングテストの際とかに気をつけるべきこととか、良いアドバイスみたいな。
ミュートです。
ミュートですね。
難しいね。コーディングテストのアドバイスってあんまない。
ないですよね。
study the basics of
yeah, test is just test, so
yes.
Good advice is try hard.
Yes, study what you know.
But this is my personal opinion, but if you don't have any, the confidence in the coding, but in this case, please show your passion. because you guys are still students, so we would like to judge your potential. So potential composed of the passion and the motivation, right? Okay, so next, hello, I have JLPT N4. Oh, you study Japanese. I graduated last month in computer engineering. I know front end and back end develop, but I'm from India. Oh, you're Indian. Okay, can I apply from your website in their career page? Sure, you can apply from our career page or this recruitment page, whichever is fine. However, you graduate the university already, right? So the earliest timing will be the next April 2023. And as I explained that, the all employee need to understand and, use the Japanese. So if you have the passion to study Japanese hard until you start to work, you can apply. We always welcome. So do you guys have any question? This is a good chance. Please don't hesitate. Yeah, don't be shy. Please feel free to, ask us anytime, whatever you want.
Kalau ada yang ingin bertanya, bisa langsung di kolom komentar atau langsung chat di kolom Q&A. Okay, I think it looks like we have covered all of our questions. Thank you, Mr. Koshimoto, Mr. Saito, and Mr. Jose. Is there anything else you want to cover before wrap up?
Okay, so wait a minute. So everybody doesn't have any question, right? So if you have the question, please, send the email to me, okay? And then please come to our booth and then check the poster. Yeah, we have the QR code, and you can check the all information, our company's information, and then you can see our company's picture, and that picture is for our company's working environment, our member, our event. Yeah, you can see and understand our company's culture from the picture. So please check it out. Okay, so that's over.
Yeah, thank you everyone. We appreciate you being here. Sang Asterisk no minasan, otsukare Thanks again for joining us today, and we will see you next time.
Okay, see you next time.